If you're arriving to a set, it's really a good idea to arrive early. There are certain times where traffic is running really terribly, or you forgot something in your car, or you got the address wrong. You want to make sure you give yourself plenty of time so the nerves don't get the best of you and you don't feel rushed. When you arrive, normally you'll have to check in, and then you'll be led into a lobby or some sort of waiting area. This is a great opportunity to go to the bathroom. A lot of times for first guests, they just get so much nerves, they have to go to the bathroom when they want to do some sort of touch-up. So this is the time to do that. The next step is going to be most likely meeting with the producer of your segment. That person is really going to assist in getting your microphone, going over what your segment is going to entail, asking if you have any relevant visuals like video or photos, or if you have any display items. Before you go onto your set, before it says record and action has been said, make sure you are wearing a microphone. It does happen where the producer is running around and they forget to give you a mic, so be conscious of that. Always expect that what you're going to arrive in is going to be what you're going to wear. Unless you, of course, arrive a little bit early and you have more than enough time to change outfits and you say you want to change, that's definitely doable. But make sure that you are in control of how you become camera ready. The next step, of course, will be meeting the host or the interviewer or the anchor, whoever it may be. They'll be the ones to kind of go over sometimes what you'll be talking about and if there are any visuals, once again, that they should be aware of when your segment occurs. How the segment starts 9 to 10 times is that the host is going to read an introduction into one camera, then they'll bring you into the conversation. You have a natural back and forth with the host. Sometimes they'll ask you questions, sometimes they'll note some sort of hand gesture that they're on the screen if you have a visual that's relevant, a photograph or some sort of animation or video. And you will go by very quickly than what you think it's going to be. I always suggest knowing how long you have in your segment. Segments can run 1 minute to 5 minutes, and understanding that you really need to prioritize the points that you want to make beforehand. Once you and the host are finished with all the questions that need to be had, the host will then turn back to the camera, whatever it may be, a different one perhaps, and read a tag or an outro. That's really the close of the segment. After that occurs, do not say anything to the host. This is because oftentimes you're in the middle of a show and they'll have to do something else immediately after, maybe from that seat. Once the segment is done, make sure to take off your microphone, say to the host, thank you, I appreciate your time, and gather all of the items that you may need. When you do that, expect there to be something else, because as TV producers, we're always on to the next. So you may not have a ton of time right then to do your cleanup or to leave. You may have to wait for another segment to tape before we can stop and then have you walk out. The second scenario, of course, is if the television or digital crew is going to your location. Depending upon what your context of what you're doing, make sure once again you've come camera ready and that you are aware of what you're going to be doing. When they arrive, it'll probably be 2 people, no more. It'll be a photographer and or a producer, or a host/producer. Sometimes it'll actually just be a photographer who's meeting you, because oftentimes in TV, other people get called away. Know exactly what you want to do. If you're expected to have an interview, have the place where you want to have your interview already in mind and give them options rather than them finding what they think is best. If you have extra items that need to be filmed, such as a service being done or someone walking around or some shots of your product, make sure to have those all the way up and set up before they get there. This way the product comes on or the service comes off on TV exactly how you want it, and you're not at the discretion of what the producer or the photographer have in mind. For more information on how to be a TV guest and what to expect, you can find other lessons in the series. I'll see you on the screen.